Hi everybody, Kyle Austin, Matt Winslow here at Spartan Stadium after Michigan State's 27-24 win over Penn State, upset win. And Matt, let's start big picture. Michigan State is playing for, I don't want to say effectively because they got 2 games after that, but they're certainly playing for the driver's seat in the Big Ten East next week after Ohio State lost big today at Iowa. I mean, how surprised should we be at this, and how did they kind of get in this position?
Well, I think this is about what everybody predicted at the start of the season. No, I mean, it's a remarkable turnaround job for Michigan State after 3-9 last year. You go on the road, you beat a number 7 Michigan team. And last week you lose a heartbreaker at Northwestern, you come back home, beat a number 7 Penn State team, and all of a sudden you're tied for first place in the East Division. So yeah, overall, I mean, I think very few people, I can't imagine many, anticipated this coming the start of the year, and it's just an impressive job by the coaching staff to turn this around and by the players, a very young team, to buy in and to get to this position.
This is the sort of thing that we saw regularly for a couple of years there under Mark D'Antonio, really from year 4 or 5 on, being in contention in November, winning top 10 games like this. I'll admit, I was among the ones that didn't think they'd be able to pick right up after 3-9, and just start doing it right again. I thought it'd be more of a slow build, and I didn't know if they'd be able to do it, but, I guess that's kudos to them. They were able to start doing it right away. Talking about this game, obviously I think when people look back at this years later, they're going to remember the delay, 3 hours, 20-something minutes. How did that affect things? It was certainly a weird atmosphere in here afterwards. Michigan State came out pretty well after it.
Yeah, before the game we were talking about, the weather was not going to be very good. Didn't really know who that benefited because Michigan State's best offense right now is obviously throwing the ball. Penn State's a dynamic team, throwing the ball a lot and then using Barkley out of the backfield. It's hard to say who the delay benefited more, but it certainly didn't seem like it hurt Michigan State. I mean, they came out after 1:15 the game was delayed. That was restarted at 4:38. They came out and they didn't miss a beat. So yeah, I mean, a lot of credit goes to, again, be repetitive, but to the coaching staff for keeping the guys ready to play in a ridiculously long delay, and to the players for coming out ready in the second, right off the bat after that long of a break in front of a pretty sparse crowd at first, but credit to those who stuck it out.
Right, defense in particular. I mean, I think they had 2 straight 3-and-outs after that. They really set the tone, shut down Saquon Barkley. They didn't make a lot of adjustments afterwards. It's not like they sat in their game planning and came with some master plan to do what they said. They stick mostly with it, and defense really was what stood out to me. And then takeaway number 3, Brian Lewerke, 400-plus yards back-to-back weeks, throwing 50-plus times. I mean, this is looking like this is supposed to be an old-school run-first offense, but we've got quarterbacks throwing 50 times every time. How much different is this than what we should have expected, and what's Brian Lewerke's ceiling here?
Again, another one of those things you go into the season with all the question marks they had, all the youth, all the attrition, all the guys they were replacing. You looked at their strength, and you're like, oh, they got 3 veteran running backs. They'll be fine there. I mean, they haven't been able to run the ball effectively, but again, after throwing for a program record 445 last week, Brian today was I would say that was his best game of the season.
I agree.
I mean, I thought he was outstanding. He had the 1 interception. It was on a tip ball by Felton Davis, who had another outstanding performance. So, I mean, really impressed with the job they've been able to do with Brian being his first year as a full-time starter in less than ideal conditions today, again. And the wide receiver group, young group, Davis being the junior, being the oldest one, I think is extremely impressive. Between him and Darrell Stewart Jr. and Cody White and Hunter Rison, I mean, these guys, they're good.
Right. Yeah. There's really, it sounds simple, but that's the truth. I mean, he's getting a lot of help. I mean, he's putting the ball where it needs to be, but these guys are making some tough catches out there. In the rain, one-handed stuff, diving stuff. For guys without much experience, big plays, big catches, and big games, it's been quite a revelation. And I think we would be remiss if we didn't mention our friend Matt Coughlin, Matt Muffin, McLovin, whatever we call him, Coughlin. Just to me, the biggest kick they've made since that Ohio State won a couple years ago. A guy that missed it, hit the upright twice, hadn't really had a big kick. That's about as much as you can ask for from him.
Yeah, I mean, before the season, we asked him if he thought he'd be ready. Being a redshirt freshman, not playing before, he said he thought he could handle the pressure of the moment. Gained a little bit of experience along the way. Had the rough outing last week, but today, with the game on the line, and what more can you ask for? He drilled it. So, good on him for battling the nerves and coming through. And probably a lot of people wouldn't have been able to pull that off. So.
All right. Well, that'll do it. 7-2 Michigan State versus 7-2 Ohio State next week. We'll probably write a little bit about that this week. So check MLive.com/Spartans for all your coverage. Thanks.